Alrighty. Sorry for the late start, everyone. Welcome to YouTube. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Happy Monday. This is Aaron Yoon coming at you from sweltering hot New York City. We're in the middle of this heat wave after a couple of storms hit and everything like that. Although it's nothing compared to some of the southern states, I recognize that, but for New York, 90 to 95 degrees is pretty damn hot, especially if you live at an elevated, higher floor like a lot of us do here in New York City. It sucks. Thank God we have air conditioning. Welcome to today's show. Again, hope everybody had a great weekend. Today we're starting off with a little bit of the P&L first, because a lot happened today. I didn't actually take that many trades today, but a lot of action in the market, and in a lot of the different kind of securities than what I'm used to trading. Just in case you were wondering, I still have a love-hate, more of a hate relationship with oil right now. No love from oil even today. Thankfully, I was able to make up for it in a lot of the other currencies and gold and a little bit on the Dow. So let's take a look at this right here. So let me just put up the pointer. All right. So what we're looking at here is $826 realized. That's $826 in my pocket. And we're also looking at $955 unrealized. That's carrying over. That's the profit that I've been building up since last week. Especially in the euro, you can see that the trade opened for the euro is a week old. It's at on Sunday night, I believe. When was the 19th? Yeah, last Sunday. Last Sunday is when I got into this trade, and I've been holding it ever since. I haven't really been out of that position. I've scaled in and out and scaled in and out a little bit, right? And that's why the profit is that's where most of this profit came from, actually, if not all, maybe. I'm actually not too sure. Again, I'm not really too crazy about dissecting where my profits came from. That's not really the point of the show here. The point of the show is that I am in winning trades and managing the risk. I'm just kind of letting it go and then managing the risk. So let's take a look at. You can see I'm currently in a total of 5 positions, but it's really just 4 positions. It's really that gold apparently rolled over, and I got into this trade last night, and I wasn't gonna let it go because of what I was in profit. So why would I let it go, right? And I could have closed it out. I did scrape a little bit off because I did have 2 contracts in. I took one for a little bit of a profit, but this is the August contract right here. And I should be trading the October. Volume right now is still kind of 50-50, so I'm okay for the time being, but I'm very, very careful of the fact that this is the back month now, I think. So you can see that there's a big price difference too, right? On the October contract, the October gold contract closed at 1949, whereas the August closed at 1937. That's a pretty significant difference. If it was within a couple of points, I'd be like, yeah, it's pretty much the same, not a big deal. But this is 12 points of a difference, and it did fluctuate throughout the day, right? And so I'm holding a profit in both of those there in the gold. And the Dow was a very whipsawy kind of action today, and so it's just kind of I'm not really looking at this emotionally relating to it as a big profit. I am thinking of it as it's nice, but I'm not really expecting a whole lot from it because all the indices right now are kind of choppy. The market doesn't really know what it wants to do, and then we have the pound. I got in for a trade. I got out. I got stopped out for break even, taking a 1-to-1, and then I got in again at another at another price. I'll get into some more of the details later. And of course, the crown jewel of my trading the past week has been the euro dollar at something that I've been holding for a week. And as of last week, I was in only maybe 6 positions or so, maybe at the most. But I scaled into it. At one point today, I was in 10 contracts. So that's like the same thing as just taking a standard, not a micro, right? At one point I was in 10 contracts, but I did take some off the table, clear some margin, put some profit in my pocket. That's where a lot of stuff came from. And that's why I'm holding. I've realized $826 in profit, put it in my pocket, and I'm still working with a 955. So this is the challenge that we're gonna have going forward. I feel like I need to do more of these kind of updates in order to really, because it's not honest of me to actually say I made $1,700 today. That's not correct for me to say that. Because I'm not day trading as much anymore. I'm doing more of a swing trade. I need to share and be honest with you what I am putting in my pocket and what I'm leaving in play. And let's see now. What's this challenge that we're having with the stream? Okay. Sorry, everyone. Just dealing with a little bit of a technical issue here. Okay. All right, so let's just take a look at some of these trades. Okay, so you're looking now at the actual charts, right? And so I'm just going to work my way down on the positions that where you see the blue dot is, you see it's actually an L. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a blue L indicating that I'm in long. And let's first talk about, get the bad news out of the way, right? Let's do that, because I did have one losing trade today. And it was just the crude oil just toys with my heart, because I just get even angry just even wanting to talk about it. But I did promise I was going to be honest here, and so crude oil. Let's get into the smaller time frame here so you can see what happened. So I was paying attention to the crude oil opening breakout, right? And I was like, you know what? I saw the opening 5-minute candle do this right here, and I was like, oh, it's breaking down, and it's kind of breaking down hard, right? It's more than normal. And so this 5-minute, there's a lot of action downward, but the overall momentum is upward, right? So if I go to the very high time frame of 240 minutes or the 4-hour, you can see that the trend is the RSI broke above 60 twice, and it never really broke below 40 despite all of these lows. And you can see on the 4-hour, there's a lot of pressure pushing this up. 1, 2, 3, 4 really big wicks to really to press the price up. So I'm looking for buys here. And when I saw the opening candle, the opening 5-minute candle do this, I'm like, you know what? I am going to kind of catch the falling knife, so to speak, but not really, because I'm really bouncing. I'm really jumping on the overall longer trend, but kind of I'm catching the falling. I'm catching a retracing falling knife, so it's not too bad of a falling knife, but I guess technically I am catching a little bit of a downward momentum, and I decided I was going to take a shot right here. So I had a buy entry right at 40.75, which is a solid green line. It is a upper boundary of this big quarter at 40. So that's as good a spot as any to take it, but I got stopped out. I got stopped out right at 50. Right, like by like 2 ticks, 2 ticks, and I'm just like, oh my god, I got stopped out. I didn't see the notification until later because I was up to other things, um, and I and then later on, I was so tempted to take the price again, but I have had such a bad experience last week with crude oil. I got scared. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little bit gun shy, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to take this price. I kind of want to take this the 40/50 at the small quarter. I kind of want to take a buy stop order here. I don't know. I don't know which one I want. But at the time, I was just looking at this, and I was like, I don't know. Is it gonna break down? I don't think so. I'm still looking for buys. It's just chopping around here. And then, of course, the rest is history. And yeah, I was, this is it. It completed the move from the one solid green line to another solid green line. 100 points. It's a $500 move. And this is what I'm aiming for, right? I aimed for it last week. I missed. I aimed for it today. I missed. And each time I miss, it cost me $125, and it is excruciating. Not gonna lie. However, what helps me keep my sanity is the fact that I still put $820 in my pocket today. So it's just like I want these wins because like I'm like mentally I'm right about it. Like I had the right move. It's like in basketball where you take an open shot and it goes like in the rim, it goes like it rattles like it rattles in and out. It's like halfway down the hoop and then it bounces out. Like imagine getting 2 or 3 of those in a row. It's just like, oh my god, I'm taking good shots. I feel good about it when I take the shot, and it just there's like a lid on the rim or something like that. It's so frustrating. So I got stopped out by just this little thing right here, and then of course it goes up. It just skyrockets to my target, and I'm just what am I supposed to do? I guess I could have taken some buy stop orders here, but at this time of day, I was in other meetings and calls, and I was doing other things, and so I want to be a trader that is more of a I take good shots and I kind of leave it alone. I don't want to be stuck watching a chart for like a hawk all day, because that is more typical of day trading. I want to do that maybe for like an hour, like at the open, for the indexes maybe, and like the opening range. I should have, would have, could have done something with the opening range here, taking it down, got a 250, 300 something bucks. I could have done that, but my philosophy has been I'm more defending against these opening breakouts, and the overall trend is up. So when the opening range breaks downward, I am ready to buy for a bigger move, and it was a bigger move. This is only like 3/4, but this is like 5/4, right? So so it is a bigger move, but I just missed. In retrospect, I could have taken both. I could have taken the opening range down, and I could have taken the bigger movement up. I could have done that. It's just like crude oil is like I love it. I loved it 2 weeks ago, and now I kind of hate it. So it's kind of this love-hate relationship. It's like that one. It's like that one boyfriend or girlfriend that you're dating that like it drives you insane, but you love them at the same time, and you're like, I don't know, is this good for me? Is this bad for me? I don't know. Like it's kind of what it feels like, right? Okay, so anyway, that's enough about that. That cost me $125. I lost a 1/4 here. Shoulda, woulda, coulda taken it again. I don't know. I didn't. I was spread out in other trades. I was spread out in other securities. So let's go from the top down, working on the Dow here. I am looking at bigger time frames now more than ever before. The only time I look at small time frames is when I want to do the opening breakout play, right? That's really the only time. If I look at the 4-hour chart here, I'm looking more for a I'm looking for the uptrend to kind of continue, even though this kind of showed some weakness and broke down. You can even see, even on the 4 hour, it broke below 40 a little bit, just like it did here. But it's showing a lot of weakness, and it looks like it wants to turn around. So I took a buy, right? I didn't feel like, and on the 1 hour, I have divergence here. And then I see 1, 2, 3 lows that can't break below 40. So I'm like, all right, like it's run out of downward pressure. It's run out of steam. And that's just chopping around here. And I want to take it. I want to take it long, right? So I guess I could have looked for a on the opening hour. I could have taken a buy down here. Missed that though, and so I took it off of this green line. I like my entry points where you see the lines, green line, red line, whatever, right? It's the same for my entries and targets are almost always are going to be around the green lines. It just makes it simpler for me, right? So I am going to, so I took this, I got in at, on this candle right here, and my stop is all the way down here, 75 points, I should say. The point on the Dow is the same as a tick, whatever, right? 75. I like trading the Dow because it allows me the tick value is cheap enough for me to have a big stop for a pretty cheap deal, right? It's this 2 contracts makes this 75 pip stop only $75, right? And I'm willing to go all the way up to 125 for my risk. So like this is less than my acceptable risk per trade, and that's why I like the Dow. And it moves, and when it moves, it really moves, right? So there's good risk ratio when it moves. Sometimes the NASDAQ moves a lot more, but when this trends, it kind of tags along very nicely. Anyway, I was just chopping around back and forth there. So looking at in context, I know what this says, $85 in profit, but looking at it in context, it's not that great. It's not. I mean, I'm not really that confident that I'm gonna continue to take a profit here, right? Because look at the overall trend. It's just sideways, right? And if I get unlucky, it could stop me out like crude oil did. Right? So it could stop me out like this and just continue to bounce side to side like this. Maybe, I don't know. I am taking a shot here, and I'm not. It's cheap. It's a good deal. Why not? I'm just taking a shot. Moving on, let's look at gold. I have 2 gold positions. This is the August contract that I took first. This is the trade that I took last night. I took it at the. I might have gotten slipped. I might have done a market order here or something like that. So it's not exactly at the 1925. It's a couple of ticks below. Whatever. I mean, I made a few extra dollars because I got in at a slightly better price. Not a big deal. I think I just took the market order when I saw it at that point. It was trending strong. It was this is the hourly chart here. Look at how high the RSI is. And today it was kind of choppy, right? It was like we hit all-time highs today. We're like, I don't know, is this going to continue? So this is another one where I'm like, I'm up $127, but I'm not entirely confident that this won't get stopped out. Maybe I don't know. I am hoping when the market opens in 15 minutes, this keeps going up. That is my hope. I don't see why not. We're hitting all-time highs. Unless something crazy happens, I don't see why more people wouldn't jump on gold. Usually the novices, when you hear news about how gold is hitting all-time highs, that's when like a lot of the novices are like, oh, I should buy more. The gold is so high. This is such a great opportunity. Don't FOMO. You gotta buy gold, right? And that's usually where all-time highs tend to lead to higher new all-time highs a lot of the time, and that's what I'm banking on here. It's the same situation with the October. I'm just very, very cautious of like how much it has already moved. This move is insane, right? This is just like it just keeps marching upward and upward. It's just kind of insane. Ever since June, it's just like had nothing in its way. And I mean, I'm kind of kicking myself for not looking at it because I used to look at gold a lot. I used to really like gold. Um, but for a long time, it was just kind of chopping around and doing nothing. And then the past month, it just kind of snuck by my attention and just was rallying like crazy. I don't know why. Like no one else that I really follow was really talking about it all that much. We talked about crude oil already. We don't need to add the red flag there. So I have 3 contracts in gold. You know, two contracts in gold, because I already took a 1-to-1 profit off of one of these. So that's like $125. So no matter what happens to this particular trade, it's like worst case scenario is a break even. This contract though, I don't know yet. You know, like I just wanted to get some exposure to the proper month contract, and I wanted some exposure in gold. So psychologically, it forces me to pay attention. When I'm in a trade, it makes me pay attention way more than I'm like, oh, I'll set an alert, I'll get to it later, right? That usually doesn't work as well for me. I usually miss more if I'm not already in a trend. So with a pound, let's see. I took a trade. So you can see that I have multiple buys here. So I took a trade on the 28.25. I took a profit at 28.50 for a 1-to-1. And then I got stopped out, I think, somewhere I got stopped out. So it was a break even, right? And now I'm in. What is going on? I am not following. Okay. Oh no. Okay, so I had so let me start that again. I took 4 contracts, took a 1-to-1 for 2, right? So I took a profit on 2 contracts, and then I stacked another 2. So the pound dollar, because the pip value is so cheap, right? It's only per 1 contract, it's only 0.625. So I got to take 2 contracts, for every move to be $1.25, right? I like keeping it simple and thinking about each pip moving to be around $1, like around $1, right? And so I'm taking this in multiples of 2. In the euro, however, you're going to see a lot more activity on the euro, because this is what I was watching way more. Let's move over to the 1-hour chart, and I stacked. So like yesterday I stacked 2 contracts here, and I took 1 down. And then I took another contract, and I took profit again at 17.50. Remember, I don't know if you remember last week, I was saying like I am just aiming for 17.50 to take a lot of my profit, and I did. That's where the majority of the $826 came from. But I also had a strong momentum, so I'm like, I'm not going to sell myself short and stop. I have RSI way above 60, so I took another contract. Now I am very cautious about this. I have a lot at stake here. I have $691 still at stake here. So this is a big trade, and I'm getting riskier and riskier as I scale into it more, right? This has 8 contracts to it. So when we're dealing with something like this, every move is $10. Every tick is like $10. It goes up by 10. So every 10 pips is $100, right? So my stop here is a 25 pip stop. That's a $250 stop. That's really, really big. So I'm very, very cautious of this, and the thing that has me confident is how high the RSI is. Today was a little bit choppy. There was a little bit more. It was a little slow. But what do you expect when the trend is so strong for so long? Of course, it's going to pause and take a break a little bit, especially at these red lines, especially at the big quarters. So that's my trade. That's my activity, and it's just, it's just this right here. That's really it for today's video. Today was a good day, great start to the week. I hope I can finish the month strong. I wanted to, my goal. I mean, I don't want to jinx anything. My goal was to day trade $100 a day, which means in a month, a 5-day trading week, 5.5, depends on how you want to look at it. I should be making $2,000 a month, and I am nowhere near that still. Even I'm a lot closer today. But what you want to see is this number be an 8, be an 8 grand. If I had 8 grand, then I would be where my goal was, right? So you might be thinking, well, Aaron, why don't you just realize all this profit and that'd be 8 grand? That's not how that works, because this number right here, including this number, all right. And so as my unrealized these are the trades that are still open. As this goes up and down, so does my net worth. So this is I don't really like looking at these numbers too much, because it like I tend to get psyched out about it, right? So I want to get everything out of my own way as much as possible, which means not obsessing over the price. That's just me. But I want to be honest, and I want to be upfront and transparent about what is happening in my account. And I don't know a better way to do it than to just show this. So today was a great day, and I'm still holding on to some big wins. You can see here, I have plenty of profit here locked in still. I'm even if this drops all the way down, that'll be like, I'll still be putting in 400 some odd dollars in my pocket, even if I get stopped out on this, which I hope does not happen. Go euro. Go all the way up to, 2,000. Go all the way up here. Go all the way up to $1.20, technically, right? €1 is $1.20. Right now it's $1.17.5. Go all the way up to $1.20 euro. It's all you. Like the European Union is doing a lot better than America is. So that's working for me. I'll be happy to stack on even more contracts the better Europe does. UK not as much. Like the British pound is usually the stronger of the two currencies, but it has not been as strong of a trend in the futures market. So what are you gonna do? I just gotta roll with the punches and take what the market gives me. That's like the major thing. I feel like I'm making moves. I'm taking shots on crude oil, and I'm missing, but I feel like I'm taking good shots. So like I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If it just rattles in and out, does that mean that you stop taking those, or you continue to take those? I don't know. In basketball, you definitely continue to take them, but in trading, it definitely makes me feel a lot more gun shy, right? I almost would rather just be straight up wrong and be like, yeah, my analysis was wrong, right? This kind of like dilemma situation is a little bit tougher to deal with, because I'm like, I'm right, but I missed. I'm right, but I missed. That keeps happening. So the silver lining to that, of course, is that I'm refining my analysis skills, and there's an increased sense of clarity in what I'm doing, right? Mental clarity, emotional clarity, and just the strategy, and just like this feels a lot more. I feel a lot more in the zone doing stuff like this than taking small opening breakouts and then buy stuff. Where it's just like a lot of fumbling around that you probably remember from a month ago, where I was fumbling around and I got lucky in some, but I missed a lot. I think I'm doing better like this, while also being mindful and defending against breakouts. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Great day, great start to the week. Hope this continues. Maybe I can hit my monthly goal all in 1 week. hopefully, knocking on wood, hope that happens. And stay tuned for tomorrow's episode to see how I do in trading on Tuesday. For now, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell for more daily content just like this, and I will see you tomorrow, YouTube. Take it easy and have a good night.